Hey everyone, so I'm back with my new video which is on critical appreciation of a light exits in spring. So the outline we will cover today are about the poetess, critical appreciation and at last conclusion. So first is about the poetess which is Emily Dickinson, and as I have told you in previous slides also, in previous videos also, that Emily Dickinson was born on 10th December 1830 in Amherst, Massachusetts, US, and she died on 15th May 1886 at the age of 55 in Amherst, Massachusetts, US. By occupation, she was a poet and alma mater was Mount Holyoke Female Seminary. Her notable works are a Artist Liquor Never Brewed Because I Could Not Stop for Death and of course A Light Exists in Spring. So firstly we will study overview of the poem. A Light Exists in Spring is about the light in spring that illuminates its surroundings. Though this poem is about nature, it has a deep religious connotation that science cannot explain. A Light Exists in Spring is one of the nearly 1800 poems written by Emily Dickinson. It was published along with her other poems published posthumously in 1819 in the volume Poems by Emily Dickinson. She was a famous American poet who lived during the 1800s, but only 10 of her poems are known to have been published in her lifetime. Along with Walt Whitman, Dickinson is generally recognized as one of the two leading 19th century American poets. Next slide is about the critical appreciation of the poem. So here we will cover the critical appreciation by all these points. First is summary. A Light Exists in Spring is a simple nature poem at the same time it has a religious connotation. For the light symbolizes faith. A Light Exists in Spring is a fine poem about the spring season. This speaker is striving to portray a certain kind of light that exists in spring, for it has moved her very deeply. Since the speaker cannot portray the light physical nature, she has remained vague about what this light looks like. However, she has made it quite clear how it has made her feel mentally and spiritually in the poem. Next is about the theme of the poem. The poem A Light Exists in Spring revolves around the poet's thought about this unique light that comes and goes only during spring. Spring, the season of new birth, brings something new in our life, shows us different things, and leaves us to the memories. At the same time, it has more philosophical and religious connotation about the cycle of light and dark, day and night, life and death, etc. So, this is the theme. Next is form and structure of the poem. A Light Exists in Spring is a simple nature poem of 20 lines. The poem is divided into 5 quadrants. It follows an inconsistent rhyme scheme in both free verse and blank verse form, while second and third stanzas are free verse still have rhyming, which also makes it a blank verse. The rhyme scheme is A B C B D F E F G H I H J K L K and M N O N. So this is the form and structure. Next is setting. The setting of the poem is in spring, as one sees spring being mentioned in the first line of the poem. Yet there is another reference to the light that appears no sooner has March arrived, makes it a poem set in the early spring. Next is mood and tone. The mood of the poem is calm and serene feel, could be felt, for the poet ponders over this light that can only be seen in the spring. The tone seems to be whimsical compared to many of the spring poems that come with vibrancy. The mood and the tone slowly turns more whimsical when the speaker watches the beautiful thing like the light disappears while we humans stay. Next is literary and poetic devices used. A Light Exists in Spring is a simple poem about the poet's memories of the light of the spring light. Yet the poet has incorporated a number of literary or poetic devices. Some of the literary and poetic technique used in the poem includes imagery, symbolism, personification, metaphor, but not limited to these. Next is about imagery. So, Emily Dickinson is known for writing her poems with brilliant imagery. The second stanza in the poem stands to testify why she says, it waits upon the lawn, it shows the further tree, upon the further slope we know, it almost speaks to me. While reading this stanza, one cannot stop themselves from imagining a tree far away with a gleaming snow and raindrop on it. So she has used many kinds of imagery in the poem. Next is about symbolism. The light in poem is used to symbolize religion for the fact that Dickinson says it only appears in the spring. The spring season is a strong symbol of rebirth. As we see in our day to day life, also, that in the springtime there are new leaves on the trees and plants, and something new we feel in our atmosphere. So this is about rebirth, and she has symbolized that. Now I am again reading the line. The light in the first three stanzas represents her hope for a better and or happy life. Next is personification. Personification plays a vital role in Dickinson's description of the light in the spring season. In the lines, a color stands abroad on solitary fields. One could see the use of personification. Light cannot literally stand, for it has no definite shape to determine, and its fields are not solitary either. Similarly, in the line waiting upon the lawn, light is projected as if it is a human, which allows the observer to contemplate the nature of its existence. Next is metaphor. Metaphor allows the reader to visualize the idea of the poet better. Dickinson brings out metaphors from nature like the weather, light, and the cycle of day and night. In the line, without the formula of sound, it passes and we stay. Use the light as a metaphor to express how it goes off without a warning when the right time comes. In the fifth stanza, the poet associates the loss of light that is special in spring to match with the loss of belief where tread comes upon a sacrament, referring to the biblical incident where Jesus chases away the money handlers from the church. Next is about conclusion, and the last slide is about conclusion, as we always do. So, human beings, by their very nature, can feel this light, which at times almost speaks to you. This suggests that in witnessing this light, the speaker feels the brink of learning some deep truth or insight about the world, or even connecting with God. So, this is all about today. Thank you so much for now, and bye to all.